past couple of games, Scotty's been touching it 25, 30 times a game. Is his workload where you want it to be right now, or would you kind of want it more or less just kind of where is he at?
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I mean, I really haven't paid much attention to it throughout the course of the game. He's in good enough shape to carry it 20, 30 times. The biggest thing for us is make sure that Ely and Snoop get their carries as well. And we've got to be conscious of that because we have, and even that with Isaiah Williams. So we have 4 guys we feel confident in, but Scotty's a veteran. He's playing pretty good football for us. And then parts of the game, like at the end of the game, you want a big physical back, getting first downs, trying to eat up the clock. So that's part. He's getting a lot of carries late as well.
Rich over here. I know Southeastern blitzed almost from every direction. You think that had a lot to do with the line play, especially second, third quarter, our offensive line play?
Oh, I think we'll see that quite a bit the rest of the year, just moving fronts and slanting angles and different pressures from the corner, from the backers, and we probably work on that as much or more than anything else, just because we know with some new guys playing up front, young quarterbacks, a lot of young backs, so we're gonna see a lot of different kinds of pressures and movements. Very few people will play us. There might be some that will just play us straight up, but there's a lot of people who give us different types of movements. So we've been practicing against that since the beginning of camp. But we have to, make sure every week we're ready for that. And there'll be some stuff, including this week, where we'll see some things that our guys have not seen up to this point. We gotta get ready for that too.
Coach, where do you think you're at as far as finding a consistent target at receiver behind Elijah, and how will that change when Braylon comes back?
Braylon will help because he's got some experience. Drummond and Mingo have done a pretty good job. We have other guys too. And we have to be more consistent throwing the ball. I think we're close at times, but it's been frustrating at times too because we've missed some things. And that part of it is our responsibility as coaches to help our guys out, help Matt out a little bit. Matt, he's a competitive guy, but there's some things in the game that like, gosh, that was, we can't have that. But there's other things in the games like, he's getting it. I see he's getting it. And so, like, there was a couple of throws and things he did in that game that really showed, I think, his progress. Now we just got to be more consistent.
Coach, kind of follow up to that, their defensive backfield has been declared one of the best in the country. How do you evaluate Cal defensively?
Yeah, I think you look at their experience. There's 7 or 8 seniors and 3 juniors, 4 juniors or something. So it's an older, probably one of the most experienced defenses in the country, and a good experienced defense. So they got guys that will be playing in the NFL, and that's kind of where their program right now is kind of their what they're known for, playing really, really good defense. And they got players on both sides, but their defense has been outstanding for a couple years now, and our guys will see that on film.
Going back to Matt, how do you kind of balance his kind of gunslinger mentality with the ability to kind of reel it in and make better decisions?
Well, what we've told him, he's got to let the offense come to him. I think there's enough built in within the offense that he'll have some different options. Like there'll be 3 or 4 different options on every play. The key is picking the right one, and sometimes the right one is just an easier execution than others. But he'll get that. I think again, I saw just a little bit in practice yesterday that the mistakes he made Saturday that he recognized and corrected. So it's a work in progress. I guess that's the best way to put it. But he'll keep getting better with it.
You've schemed head-to-head against Justin Wilcox a bunch of times. Does the advantage of that cancel out with him over your offense, or do you think there is something that you can do?
Yeah, I think the familiarity works both ways. There's always going to be something different in each year, and that. So, but I do. We know their staff a little bit. They know us, and having been out in that conference, we probably know. A couple of us coaches know the Pac-12 guys more than we know the SEC guys, but after a few days of watching film, everybody kind of knows everybody.
Rich, you talked after the game the other night about maybe simplifying things a little bit. How have your offensive linemen responded through 3 games to what you've asked them to do?
Pretty well. I think that we're trying to simplify things as best we can, but there are certain things you gotta have to have success. If we're just big enough and powerful enough and explosive enough just to outman you, then, you know, that's easy to be simplified. But when you, have younger guys and guys that maybe just gonna say, well, we're gonna beat this guy one-on-one, whether it's on the inside or on the outside, it's challenging a little bit, and you gotta try to find a way to still score points. So we're kind of doing the balance. We don't wanna confuse our guys, but at the same time, we gotta have a chance to create some more explosive plays. And we have not gotten a lot of those explosive plays yet, and we're gonna have to have it, because at some point, you're gonna be challenged, whether it's on a perimeter or somewhere, one-on-one, you gotta win those.
You guys have run the ball 50 plus times the last 2 weeks. With how good Cal is in secondary, and they've kind of given up some chunk plays on the ground, does that make you want to run even more?
Well, they can outnumber you, and they're pretty good. You know, they've got one of the best linebackers in the country, and you know, you can force somebody to throw the ball by just the numbers and how many you put in the box. So we got to be mindful of that. That's why you still got to be able to, you know, be good in all the phases. But part of the reason we've run a little bit in the last couple of games was, you know, we seem to get a little rhythm and get some first downs late in the fourth quarter and trying to eat up some clock as well. But there's no question for us to be successful, especially this weekend, we got to have the ability to do both. And Matt can throw it. We've got receivers. You know, a lot of them don't have experience, but we got receivers and tight ends, our backs can catch, and we can protect. But we're going to have to do both, and we got to be smart about how we do it.
Anything else for Coach?
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys.